This video is about state administrative agency decisions. So we're going to focus on Massachusetts just because it gives us a state that we can look at the materials in. But basically the states, it's going to be the same idea as the federal. There are procedural requirements. In Massachusetts we have an Administrative Procedure Act. In terms of finding decisions, we're going to look to some of the same sources, agency websites, some print reporters. In Massachusetts, there's a collection or a specific site. The Social Law Library databases contain a number of different administrative agency decisions. One final place you could look for agency decisions, or at least a mention of the agency decisions, is Mass Lawyers Weekly. So I'm going to suggest again that if you're not familiar with the agency you're working with, that you're going to want to use some kind of a research guide or finding aid, and I've just given you an example of two. One of them is the General Handbook of Legal Research in Massachusetts, which has a chapter on administrative law. The second one is a picture of the Massachusetts Trial Court Law Libraries page, where it discusses all the different Massachusetts agencies and commission opinions and bulletins with links to them. And oh, sorry, finally I have a third one that you probably can't read what it is, but it's the administrative practices part of Massachusetts practice. So as I mentioned, state agency websites can be a good place to look for agency opinions. This one here is the official website of the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, and they have an Office of Appeals and Dispute Resolution. In addition to rules and regulations, you can also find decisions here, and there's also some reference materials that could be useful. Massachusetts also has print reporters for a number of their agencies, and I've given you a quick list. As I mentioned, if you were interested in finding out more about one of the agencies and how things work there, I would suggest a secondary source or a research guide. Here's a brief cutout of the Social Law Library online database. You could get to this from our Law Library database list. So in addition to the administrative materials, which I'm showing here, they have some other materials like primary case law. But you can see this is their list of administrative law databases. It includes things such as decisions of the Appellate Tax Board or the opinions of the Division of Labor Relations. On Westlaw, you would click into Administrative Decisions and Guidance from the main page, and then you would see that you could choose federal or state administrative decisions, or you could click into your state materials. On Lexis, it was going to be very similar to what we talked about at the federal level. You can either narrow your search in the beginning using the drop-down tabs to administrative materials in your particular state, or if you want to see what Lexis Advance has in a particular state, you can use Browse Sources and then narrow to administrative materials in the state that you're interested in. Here I've selected Massachusetts, and you can see that they have Housing Appeals Committee decisions, and the Civil Service Reporter is on Lexis Advanced. So this was just a brief video. I think you'll see that the process is very similar. Use those secondary sources and research guides to find out a little bit more about the agency you're working with, and then you can look for agency decisions on state agency websites, in print reporters, or on some online sources such as the Social Law Library, Westlaw, and Lexis.